am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
The lettuce has won. It started as a joke. We had a good laugh about it too. We never thought it could actually happen. But the events of the last 24 hours put the final nail in the coffin for the Truss government. Liz Truss will leave the post of Prime Minister in a matter of 1 week. Listen in.
I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
And with that, one of the most turbulent tenures in British politics has finally ended. Liz Truss moved into 10 Downing Street just 44 days ago. In 44 days, her government has collapsed. This makes Liz Truss the shortest-serving Prime Minister in British history. Till Wednesday, Truss was defiant. She had told Parliament that she was a fighter, not a quitter. But Truss has lost both the respect of her party and her credibility as a politician. It all began yesterday with a resignation and a chaotic vote in the British Parliament. Let's now recap the last 24 hours for you. It all began with the resignation of Suella Braverman. She was a Home Secretary in the Liz Truss government, basically the equivalent of the Home Minister here in India. Truss has lost her second senior minister in a week now. The first exit was, of course, of Kwasi Kwarteng. He was sacked as the Chancellor of the Exchequer over that disastrous economic plan. We reported on it. So why was Braverman shown the door? She had violated government rules. She used her personal email to share an official document, and that led to her resignation. Braverman had been appointed just 43 days back. Look at the chain of events. According to one claim, she is now the shortest-serving British Home Secretary since 1834. But who was Suella Braverman? Well, a conservative hardliner and a supporter of restrictive immigration policies. She is best known here in Asia for defending British colonialism. Her comments to a British newspaper went viral a few weeks ago.
History is complex and nuanced, and I'm not going to apologise for empire. I'm not going to apologise for our past.
Yes, she was talking about the British Empire, the one that colonised and plundered India for 200 years. Braverman won't apologise for the UK's colonial past. She also didn't seem sorry for using personal email for work. She used her resignation to launch a scathing attack on Liz Truss. Allow me now to read some quotes from her letter. There was an apology. I have made a mistake. I accept responsibility. I resign. But the rest of the letter sounds a lot more like a brutal takedown of the outgoing Prime Minister. Consider these statements now. Pretending we haven't made mistakes, carrying on as if everyone can't see that we have made them, and hoping that things will magically come right is not serious politics. I quote again, it is obvious to everyone that we are going through a tumultuous time. I have concerns about the direction of this government. I have had serious concerns about this government's commitment to honouring manifesto commitments. Yes, she mentioned the word concerns twice. Needless to say, Braverman's assessment was embarrassing for the Truss government. The British Prime Minister's day just got worse from that point on. Yesterday, an important vote was scheduled in Parliament. It was about a ban on fracking for shale gas. The Truss government wanted to resume fracking, and the Conservatives enjoy a majority in Parliament, so the vote should have been a cakewalk. But it wasn't, because Conservative lawmakers tried to rebel against Truss. Some disturbing reports have emerged from Westminster. Conservative MPs were allegedly bullied and manhandled during the vote. Apparently, Truss's team is said to have used strong-arm tactics to secure the votes that she needed. It got that bad. Allegedly, her Conservative colleagues were in tears. The scandalous claims led to an uproar in Parliament, and MPs then called for an investigation in the House of Commons. Listen in.
Yep. I saw members being physically manhandled into another lobby and being bullied.
While crying.
If we want to stand up against bullying in this House of our staff, we have to stop bullying in this chamber as well, don't we?
we have an extremely good system for investigating allegations of bullying, intimidation or bad behaviour. And if the honourable gentleman cares to bring evidence and facts to me, I will make sure that the matter is properly investigated.
Apparently, some lawmakers claim that this vote was being treated as a confidence vote against the Truss government. That wasn't the case. But the dissent was out in the open. Conservative lawmakers were slamming the Truss government, and that too in public.
I've had enough of talentless people putting their tick in the right box, not because it's in the national interest, but because it's in their own personal interest to achieve ministerial position.
There were a dozen Conservative MPs who publicly called on Truss to quit. Many more were making similar demands in private. Well, they've got their wish. But who will step up to take the job? The choice of Liz Truss has blown up in the faces of the Conservatives. The opposition says that the Conservatives have lost the mandate to govern. The Labour, the Liberal Democrats and Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, they have all called for a general election. Even allies of the United Kingdom cannot ignore this political instability now. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron spoke out on the situation today. Take a look.
I want to say that France, as a friend of the British people, wants stability before all, and in the current context, a context of war, of tensions over energy and the wider crisis, it is important for Britain to regain political stability, and that's all I want. On a personal level, I am always sad to see a colleague go, and what I want to say is that I would like stability to return as soon as possible.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.